Hello and welcome back to my channel. Becky here, and I am here for another tag video. So we are going to be doing the Splendid Spring book tag. I saw this on Bookable's channel and it is originally by Victoria Mann. So I will post links to both videos down below. I was hoping to film this outside and it'd be nice and springy and beautiful out there with our tree blooming and everything like that. But today is May 1st and nothing is blooming. It looks like winter out there. Basically, it snowed yesterday. So we're doing it in front of my cherry blossom tree bookshelf here. So you can see. So the first question is, everywhere you look, flowers are blooming. Not here, but they are in my house. Choose a book you love or think you will love with flowers on the cover. So I was shopping at Chapters with my mom a few years ago and she bought me this book because I love cherry blossoms, and you can see on the cover there the cherry blossoms. And my mom lives in Vancouver and I grew up in Vancouver, and the cherry blossoms bloom like at the beginning of April. Like I said, it is May 1st here in Alberta and like no flowers at all. So this is not a book you really read. So there's a little bit of like an introduction, but it's mostly just a lot of pictures. So it's not really a book with like a story or anything, but it is beautiful and perfect for this time of year. And it sits up on top of my bookshelf, blending into the background there. And then a book I did read that it actually has a story and a plot and characters and stuff is I Love You So Mochi. And this book, I just absolutely love the cover, the cute little drawings. It's all pink like inside. The book itself is like white, but it has like embossed on the cover flowers. You can see that, and then the cute pink and stuff. But I just like absolutely love this cover. The story was, it's a YA story, and it was very cute. She travels to Japan to visit her mom's side of the family after she has a rift with her mom. So she goes to Japan for spring break and just is, I think she's in her final year of high school, so she's just trying to figure out what she wants to do afterwards. She's a fashion designer. It's been a while since I read this. She's a fashion, like she likes to make her own clothes and stuff like that, but her mom is kind of like, no, you need to find a career that is going to do something for you. So she goes to Japan to kind of like discover what it is that she wants to do and to connect with her family. So I enjoyed this book. It wasn't like mind-blowing or anything like that, but it was just fun and happy and a good time and traveling to Japan, and it's got beautiful flowers and very pretty. And when I was looking through my books, there's also this cover, The Nowhere Girls by Amy Reed. If you check out my January wrap-up, I read this book in January for the Buzzword-a-thon of Where. And yeah, this book is also YA and has to do with this girl who was raped at a party. I think it was just a high school party. And then these are girls that are trying to get revenge on that guy and all the guys that take advantage of women. So this one had some really good commentary in it, and I really enjoyed this. So it's not the most springy with the black, but it's got the yellow and the pink and then the flowers. Check out my new phone case. Spring is the perfect time for a fun trip. Choose a book you've read or would like to read while traveling from one place to another. So I read the Outlander books. I can't remember which one exactly, but when I went to Japan, I read Outlander. It would have been like the second or third one. It wasn't the first one. I also read Wolf by Wolf on our trip to Arizona in February of 2020. So right before the whole world shut down, we happened to go on a trip to Arizona to visit my in-laws, and I think it was like, it wasn't spring break, but it was the teachers' convention. The kids here get a whole week off. So yeah, we went for that. And those are two books I read while traveling. Wolf by Wolf is a book where she's traveling across the desert as well. So that works for travel. And Outlander, she travels through time and across the Scottish Highlands. So there you go. Who doesn't love a good spring fling? Choose a book you were obsessed with a short period of time, but then you swiftly cast it aside. So this is one of those questions I had a really hard time answering because there's no real books that I get like super obsessed with. It's probably more like a TV show or a movie or just like a subject maybe. But the book I finally settled on for this one is A Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. So I was really excited to learn that Suzanne Collins was writing this, and I had been wanting to reread the Hunger Games trilogy for a while, so I read that in preparation of reading this. This has definitely got mixed reviews. People either like love it or hate it. I'm kind of like, it was good, it was interesting. I'm glad I read the trilogy first again, to refresh myself, and then I could pick up like the little hints in here that give nods to the Hunger Games and like how things came to be. I didn't hate this book. I thought it was really long and there were some parts that could have been like cut out of it. In the Hunger Games, you get the first person like view perspective from Katniss Everdeen and what is like actually happening in the Hunger Games. You're basically like a contestant in it, watching it from that view. Where in this one, you're seeing it from a viewer's point of view. You're just watching footage of the Hunger Games. You're not getting a picture from inside the Hunger Games. So it was a little bit kind of boring, more boring that way, but it was still, I didn't hate this book. This was a book, I guess you could say I was kind of obsessed with like the Hunger Games and everything like that. And we watched the movies. Me and my husband rewatched the movies while I was rereading the trilogy. So I guess this is as close to like an obsession that I can think of for that. Everyone loves the smell of freshly mowed grass, but not at an ungodly hour. Choose a book that personifies a middle-aged dad waking up at 7 a.m. on a Saturday to mow the lawn when he should be sleeping like the rest of us. So I took that as a book that annoys you. I picked a character that really annoyed me. I don't know what is wrong with my tripod. It is not tight, or I'm using my husband's phone. I don't know if... Let's tighten you up a little bit. My husband's phone is, we have like the same phone, but I don't know if it's heavier or if it's just the tripod or what's going on. There you go. But I picked a character that really annoyed me that I read this year in February, and that was Queenie. And the character Queenie annoyed me. I just felt like she was very like immature in the decisions that she was making. And in the end, I think she grew and learned as a character, so that was good, but I was just really annoyed by her for the whole thing. So this was the personifies a middle-aged dad waking up at 7 a.m. on a Saturday to mow the lawn. I liked the ending of it, but I didn't necessarily like all the stuff in between, how we got there. So, you know, you like the smell of the grass, you don't like it at 7 a.m. Surprise rain shower might spoil your outdoor fun, but don't worry, the sun will come back. Choose a book that made you really sad, but the sun still shines in the end. As you know, any book by Kristen Hanna is going to leave you sad. My husband's like, oh, that book looks cool. And he grabbed it and he was reading like the synopsis and he's like, that sounds devastating. And I said, welcome to the world of Kristen Hanna. I bought this at like a Goodwill kind of thing, but it had a sticker on the front and destroyed this beautiful cover. This book is about, I don't want to give spoilers, so I don't know what's in the synopsis. This mom does everything to keep her kids on track for college and out of harm's way. It has always been easy until senior year of high school. Suddenly, she is at a loss. Nothing feels safe anymore. Every time Mia and Zach leave the house, she worries about them. On a hot summer's night, her worst fears are realized. One decision will change the course of their lives. In the blink of an eye, the Faraday family will be torn apart and Lexi will lose everything. Lexi is a friend that moves into town and befriends Jude's children, Mia and Zach. In the years that follow, each must face the consequences of that single night and find a way to forget or the courage to forgive. So this is devastating. This book, I was reading it in the bath and I literally just put it down and bawled my eyes out at one scene. My daughter's just on the couch staring at me still. But there is some like redemption in the end. This one, which deals with being a mom to teenage kids that are in their senior year of high school, and this friend that moves in. So it's a really good friendship story as well, but devastating, of course. It's Kristen Hanna, but she always has like some hope in her books as well. Yes, I thought this one was a really hard read, but definitely had hopeful parts to it as well, and like a bit of a redemption. And I also wrote down Kindred by Octavia E. Butler. I just listened to that one last year. There's some really hard stuff in there with the main character in that. I don't remember her name, but she travels back to, she's living in the South, in the States, and she travels back to a time before like the Civil War and stuff like that. So there's slavery and lots of hard stuff to read about in this book pertaining to slavery and stuff. But there's a bit of hopefulness to it as well, because she's going and seeing her family, like her great-great-grandfather and stuff like that. So you know, like, it's bad during that time, but there's hope for the future because she's alive. So number 6, it's that time of year when all the animals stretch their limbs and come out of hibernation. Choose a book that pulled you out of a reading slump. So I can tell you the books that put me into a reading slump. Reading Volkswagen Blues and the Little Paris Bookshop. Reading these two books together put me in a reading slump. So a couple of audiobooks I listened to after that kind of pulled me out of that reading slump was Finlay Donovan Knocks 'Em Dead and The Love Hypothesis, and finishing the Outlander book was really good. I'm rereading Outlander throughout this year, and just being able to finish that book helped pull me out of a reading slump. Surprise baby appearance! Somebody's being a grump. Look at this little... We're all dressed up for church today. That's why I'm doing this video now, because we're all dressed up. Let's go through this as quickly as we can. Students all over exhale a sigh of relief knowing they get a break from school. Choose a book whose friend group you'd like to spend spring break with. So my number one answer for this all the time is The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. I read that book and watched that movie as that like age-ish, like 15, and I just always wanted to be a part of their sisterhood. I just really liked how connected all the characters were and all the different dynamics and stuff, and just wanted that in my life. And they also traveled to Greece, so that would be fun. I've never been to Greece before. I haven't really been most places. We bought an air fryer and we're gonna make air fried pickles, so yummy. Spring is all about rebirth and blooming. Choose a book that made you grow as a person. So this was another one. I have lots of things I could say about like different books, but I was like, I don't know what to say. But the Bible, obviously, that one obviously like changed my life for eternity. And then anything like Christian nonfiction, parenting, marriage books, anything like that. I have a whole bunch. I just grabbed 2 off my shelf. Take Charge of Your Emotions and Living Beyond Your Feelings by Joyce Meyer. The Feelings and Emotions by Dr. Linda J. Soley. I have a whole bunch of like controlling anger, emotions, things like that. These ones are obviously really good and can help you grow as a person. Emotions are something like you can't control them like how you feel, but you can control how you act out those feelings and stuff like that, right? So these are really great, and like learning emotional regulation and things, like obviously that's a good skill to have in life. Now I want to put these books on a baby. 1, 2, 3. Whoop. The Whole Brain Child, 12 Revolutionary Strategies to Nurture Your Child's Developing Mind. This was a book that I bought because I thought it looked good and sounded interesting. And we were doing some like therapy stuff with my one daughter, and she actually suggested this book and I'd already bought it. So this one is really good if you need some help with parenting and want to learn more about like the way the brain actually works and how you can speak to them and when not to speak to them necessarily. So that is this book here. Daniel Siegel and Tina Payne Bryson. So there we go. It's packed with a lot of stuff and very scientific and stuff, but it's very short as well. So definitely a good one to have. And I really, really enjoyed More Than Happy, The Wisdom of Amish Parenting. Simple Parenting Principles for the Modern World by Serena B. Biller with Paul Stutzman. So another, and I love this cover. I love the color of it. I love like the little design of the Amish people and stuff. And this one was really, really good. And this is written from somebody who's not Amish, but goes to visit the Amish people. And I think she writes like Amish romance books or something. And so she's learned a lot about parenting from the Amish. So it's people like us, like me and you, who are not Amish, but principles that we can take from the Amish people to apply to our lives and our parenting. So those are some books that can help you grow as a person, as a parent, as a Christian, I have tons of marriage books as well. So I just wanted to add a clip here about a book that made you grow. And I just wanted to mention the Laugh Your Way to a Better Marriage by Mark Gungor. Listening to Mark Gungor, we discovered him through his DVD seminar of Laugh Your Way to a Better Marriage. Me and Sebastian just thought it was so funny and hilarious that we ended up buying the DVD for ourselves. And then I ended up buying the book and I listened to his podcasts. Mark Gungor is a pastor as well, and I still listen to his sermons, his Sunday sermons and his Wednesday like Bible teaching and stuff, and I really, really like him. God really used Mark Gungor in our lives to make changes that we wouldn't be where we are now if it wasn't for Mark Gungor's teachings and the things that we followed, because the changes we made in our life following the things that he talks about in his book, in his sermon, in his Laugh Your Way conferences. So we got married, well, sooner than my husband originally wanted to. He wanted to date for like 5 years first, and we dated like 2.5. And now we have 4 kids. And I either wanted like no kids or a huge family. I'm like 1 to 3 is a small-ish family. 4 or 5 is like medium. And then over 5 is like a large family, I guess. I don't know. The size of your family and whether it feels large to you or not is totally subjective and personal to you. But for me, we have like a medium to large family, I guess. We have a lot of pets and stuff, which really adds to that. Adds to the chaos and the feeling of being a large family. I just wanted to mention like Mark Gungor, Laugh Your Way, and like just all his stuff. That has been a huge thing in my life that has changed like the trajectory of where we are now. A picnic at the park is the perfect springtime activity. Choose a book with a character who you think would pack the best picnic basket. So when I watched Heather's video on this, she didn't pick a book. She picked Suki from Gilmore Girls. So 100% agree, that would be amazing. And like she mentioned, there's actually an episode where she does pack a picnic lunch. And for a book, I picked Jude from A Little Life, which I just finished a few days ago. And he likes to cook, and I think he would pack some really good and unique things as well. I know. For many, spring is the first break from the bitterness of winter. Choose a book that is the embodiment of sunshine. I don't know. I can't think of one. All books have like sad parts or difficult parts or whatever to keep the plot moving forward. So right now I cannot think of a book that isn't the embodiment of sunshine, but if I can, I will post like a picture of it here. And then there's bonus questions as well. I will put all the bonus questions down in the description below, but I could not think of books to fit all of these. So I'll just give you the ones that I wrote an answer for. So letter C. Spring is the perfect time to try something new. Choose a book that features an activity you'd like to try or a place you'd like to go. Going back to A Little Life, they travel the world. And that's what I want to do. Everywhere. Places I've never even heard of before. They travel there, and that's what I want. And I Love You So Mochi. She goes to Japan, which I've done, but I want to go back again. Me and my husband are planning a family trip. We went back in 2017, just me and him. We went in 2017, we didn't go back, but we want to go back as a family. And then with each new season comes a new color scheme, and spring does it best with pastels. His sister's dancing. Choose a book with a pastel cover that you loved or think you will love. So I just grabbed... Oh, first of all, this is not pastels, but I love this color, and it's pink and purple, and it's kind of springy because it's so bright, and it's got like the gold foil stuff in it. And then the one, the pastel like color scheme of sheets and delicates. So like the best thing about this is that it is a graphic novel, so like it's not just the cover, it's the whole thing. It takes place, I think, mostly like in the fall, like it's in school and stuff like that. So I don't know if spring even shows up in this, but the color scheme, sheets, and then delicates is much thicker. It's got, I love this background with the pink, and yeah, again, the pastel colors. So that's my recommendation. I wouldn't say I necessarily absolutely loved these graphic novels, but I enjoy them. They're kind of sad though. They're not the embodiment of sunshine. That's for sure. But anyways, I'm going to end this here because I got a cranky baby. Just so okay. Look, oh! Look at the little cheeks. Look at the little cheeks. And I have less than 3 minutes left of space on my husband's phone for filming. Oh, you drew it on me. Thank you for watching. Let me know if you've done this tag down below. Let me know what your favorite season is. What's your favorite part about spring? And what is a book that just says spring to you? If you have done this tag or want to do this tag and end up doing it, let me know. Share it here. You can find me on Instagram or Twitter or wherever. And all my descriptions, everything is linked down below. So let me know that, and I'll see you next time. Say thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Say bye. 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 Bye.